Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Carmela, how you doing?
I'm doing good this morning. Well, good afternoon.
Yes,
Good
yes.
afternoon.
So good to see you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. I'm Patrick J. Brown, Executive Director of Culture and Context here at the Renewal Center. And we are here for Tea Time Tuesday, where we pause, reset, and build resilience. First thing I want to ask you, let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. I only see a few likes. You get the likes up, get the subscriptions up so we can engage you. We want you to pause with us. We want you to reset with us, and we want you to build resilience with us. So please go ahead and subscribe to the Renewal Center's YouTube channel and share this with others as well. And welcome to those of you that are watching the replay.
Yes.
All right, we're excited to have you on. And I'm glad to be here today because I am now pausing in the middle of my day as well. And so that's why we're here to help you reset and build resilience. And so I want to just share a little bit about our wellness, our awarenesses, excuse me. And so we're going to start off with August. We know that it is National Wellness Month. And so the Renewal Center here, one of our tenets is about restoring lives and renewing minds. And so wellness for us is about making sure that we make wellness a priority. And if we think about August being National Wellness Month, it's really dedicated to promoting well-being and encouraging people to prioritize well-being and healthy habits, whether it's physical, whether it's financial, mental, emotional, exercise, healthy eating, stress management, different practices. Some of us need to go to sleep a little earlier and get a full night's sleep. Maybe we need to work on hydration. Maybe we need to work on physical exercise or engage even in hobbies, something else like that. So when you think about wellness, that's what we're talking about. And so if you can, just go ahead and put in the comments, wellness, that's important. And so we're going to focus on that today. Carmela's going to take us through renewal practices about creating a recipe for wellness. So grab your
Yes.
tea. I've got my coffee today. Grab your
Okay.
tea, your coffee, your hydration. Grab your journal. I have mine, and invite a friend. Let them know we're on so we can engage in our renewal practices for today. All right, so excited to be there. Also, I'd like to share. Hey, Monique. Good afternoon to you. If you're out there, everyone, please let us know that you're out there. Let us know what your tea of choice is for today and put in the comments wellness, if you will. All right. Thank you for being on. And I want to share with you also that our tea of the week today is sweet honey and lemon tea. One of the things about this particular tea, really simplistic tea, but a very refreshing tea, when you think about that, it's about having lemon juice, honey, and connecting that. Perhaps a little bit of ginger might be helpful as well, especially for those of you that might suffer from different sore throats, or you just need to be refreshed and you're dealing with congestion. It'll help soothe you. So it's a
Mhm.
wonderful tea for the summer, especially when there's a lot of pollen activity going on or you're dealing with congestion. So add a little ginger to hot lemon and a sweet honey tea, and it will really refresh you. I know I need to probably do that, so I'm going to go ahead and try that later on this week. But add a little fresh ginger to it, and that'll really refresh you. All right. So basically, just make sure you put in your honey, your lemon juice, put in a tea cup or your mug, add your hot water. Make sure you let it connect for a little bit, and then add a little bit of your ginger to it, and that'll really refresh you. All
Mm,
right.
that
So let
sounds
us
good.
know. Let us know how it works out for you. All right, everybody ready for wellness? We're going to
Yes.
pause here for a moment. If you can set yourself in a good space, and we're going to locate ourselves before we get started in our renewal practices for today. So please, hello, Sharon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Everyone, please go ahead and put wellness in the comments. Let's get the likes up. So I'm looking at the likes. Let's get our likes up so that we can make sure others are seeing and engaging
Yes.
in our Tea Time community. And we're looking forward to engaging you today. All right, so let's just pause for a few moments. Let's reset. Let's locate ourselves and center ourselves, and then we'll get started in our renewal practices for today. Just take a few more seconds. Take a deep breath, and then just exhale. All right. Thank you for joining us as we've located ourselves. As we pause, we reset, and we build resilience. And so let's focus today on creating a recipe for wellness. Turn over to you, Carmela. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Patrick. Hello, everyone. I'm excited everybody is here today joining us for Tea Time Tuesday. And as Patrick has so eloquently stated today, exactly what we're going to be talking about, and that's creating a recipe for wellness. And so, with that being said, I know many of you like different type of cooking shows and all of those type of things. I know Patrick has a lot of recipe books over there at his house. You like recipes, Patrick?
I sure do. Try new things. Absolutely.
I do
Yeah.
too. I do too. Before we get started with our tea time renewal practices today, once again, Patrick has asked us to invite someone, invite a friend. Let's go ahead and get some people to come on. So if you want to go ahead and share this broadcast, we would love that. And before we get started, I want to share our screen today, and that is creating a recipe for wellness. Before we get started, can everybody take a moment and just put in the chat, how are you doing? How are you doing? While you're getting your tea of choice and putting that in the chat too, because I know you have your tea, go ahead and put your tea, what you have, you're drinking today, and then also, what are you doing? How are you feeling today? Go ahead and put one word in there. We want to know. This is National Wellness Awareness Month, and so we're going to be talking about that, creating a recipe for wellness. So I know you may be thinking, creating a recipe for wellness. Okay, I know that's kind of like a little phrase there, but well, I see your wheels might be spinning out there. What are you thinking when you hear that, Patrick?
Right now, I'm actually thinking about. Well, I'm hopeful for one. That's how I am, and
Okay.
I'm expecting.
Yes,
Um,
hopeful.
and then also, the last thing I put down was I'm mindful how I'm listening. So that's kind of the state that I'm in right now at this
Mm.
current phase.
Patrick is hopeful. We're going to take a second and just digest these. Hopeful, expecting, listening, mindful of how I listen. Now, remember, this is National Wellness Month. And so we want to tie in even how we're feeling today. This
Mm-hmm.
may be a good catalyst to get us started for our
Mm-hmm.
tea time today. Thank you for sharing that, Patrick. And Renita, happy birthday, Renita. Today is Renita's birthday.
Hey, sis, happy birthday! Yeah.
All right. You celebrate your birthday today. We're excited with you. Renita is saying, I'm thankful and doing well eating this school lunch. Yes, enjoy your school lunch today. So we got a little gratitude coming in. And Monique is saying, want to take Monique's?
I'm working on keeping the stress levels down as my team and I prepare for the opening of school and the shortage of drivers. Okay.
Mm-hmm. She's got a little challenge going on over there. But
Mm-hmm.
thank you for
Mm-hmm.
sharing that, Monique. Thank you for being transparent. And here's Sharon.
Sharon says she's grateful. Mm-hmm.
Yes, gratitude. And so, we're excited that you all are coming in with how you're feeling, because we really want to gauge where we are. And it's okay. We got gratitude going on. We got contemplation going on, reflection going on. Patrick talked about he's hopeful and expecting. And we got a lot of different things going on. Keisha, here comes Keisha. Hello, Keisha. How are you
Hey,
today?
hey, Keisha. Oh. Mm-hmm.
And so we're all coming in with how we are doing, which is so important, because that's how we gauge wellness and well-being. Today, we want to have I want to come in with an engaging, interactive Tea Time Tuesday time that we have today. So you may not, I didn't put it in the announcement, so you didn't, last minute, but later, I want to encourage everyone to grab at least 3 or maybe 1 to 3 index cards or a regular card that you can write on, because we're going to have a takeaway. Okay. So try not to get a sheet of paper or anything like that later. You want to transfer everything over to an index card. So if you have an index card or any type of card to do, it could even be a blank greeting card, something that you be engaged with. But we're going to be doing this today. We're going to be, yes, thank you, expectation. And she's joyful. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you, Tanya, for sharing the happy birthdays to Renita. Again, everyone, this is something that you can do. We're going to do a takeaway today. So I hope that you have your tea time journal as well. Later, you can get some cards. So I see Patrick ran off to get his card. So this is good. Thank you, Patrick. Any kind of card will do. Okay, so while you're taking your time to do that, we're going to go back to our Tea Time Tuesday renewal practice today. And I want you to put in the chat, what do you consider a making of a great recipe? If you take the time to think of a show or a show that you watched or something like that, what is it that jumped out the most about making a good recipe? So if you have a good recipe, what do you consider it to be the makings of it? What makes it great? Go ahead and put that in the chat for us. Patrick, while you're over there writing, what do you think makes a good recipe since you have all those recipe books in your house?
You know, I would say it's organized for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to follow. It's precise and it has the right measurements. I'll start there, and then I would say
Okay.
maybe instructions
Okay.
before we even
Instructions.
get into anything. We just want to make sure it's organized, it's easy to follow, it has the right measurements, and it's pretty clear. The instructions.
I like that. So you have to have to be clear about all of these. This is good. Okay. You guys chime in behind Patrick. What do you consider to be a great making for a great recipe? What goes
Mhm.
into having a good recipe? I like those already. Some of those you mentioned are some that I already have too. Okay, I see some things coming in the chat here. Anybody? Anybody want to share anything? Okay. Easy to follow. Yes, Keisha. A recipe, any good recipe is definitely going to have to be something that you can follow. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Monique, Pat, you want to take Monique's?
Sure, good recipe is made up of the right ingredients for great taste.
Yes. And the next one?
Sharon, oh, there's one up there. It says great blend of seasonings. And then Renita says easy to understand and must have seasoning and flavor. Mm.
Yes, seasoning and flavor.
Mhm.
Thank you, Sharon and Renita. They kind of said the same thing. Yeah, so we definitely have to have these elements when we're having a great recipe. And so today, while you are writing in your tea time journal or you grab some cards, we're going to do some takeaways so that you can have something to take away with you. And so why do we need these cards today? So you're wondering, we're going to do something a little fun. And before we do that, this is what we came up with. When you think about what makes a good recipe, let's think about your wellness recipe. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but you are going to sit and write out and create your own wellness recipe today. But think about what goes into making a good recipe. Well, easily achieve desired outcome. So you really want to be able to make something, to create something, bake something, cook something, and you want it to look exactly like the picture or taste exactly like it said it would taste. They are engaging to make. So I would like to be able to cook something that's fun and engaging, not boring. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. It's a delight to eat. You want to make sure that when you are finished with the end product, it's tasty. It tastes really good, right, Patrick?
Right. That's right.
Patrick, you want to
Hmm.
take the rest of them? You want to take the rest of them?
Sure. Let's see here. Sorry.
That's okay. I
All
just
right.
finished saying it's a delight to eat.
Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry about that. Has a detailed guide,
Mm-hmm.
instructions, easy to follow, the right amount of ingredients, detailed ingredients, and then ingredients that complement the other.
Yes. So if you guys take a look at what we asked earlier, what goes into making a good recipe? Well, here they are. Some of you already mentioned them. All of these things really go into making a good recipe. I want to highlight the very last element there that Patrick just
Mhm.
read. Ingredients that complement the other. So when you have a recipe, and sometimes we don't really pay a lot of attention to salt. Of course, a lot of us watching salt, but sometimes salt is very minute, but it adds the flavor in. Or there may be some herbs and spices that may be minute, but they still add and complement and balance out everything else. We want to make sure that when we do have a recipe is a set of instructions. A recipe is something that is a guide to help us follow along. But when we do have a recipe in hand, we want to definitely make sure that all of these elements are there. We want to make sure we're enjoying it, that it's detailed, like Patrick said, and some of the other Tea Time community members said, that it's easy to follow, that you have the right amount of ingredients. and that is detailed. I see a remark coming in here. I want to go ahead and put this down here for us to read. Let's see. Charlisa is saying, inclusive alternatives, adjustments to consider to one's liking. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's park here right quick before we get started. I like that last part, Patrick, where Charlisa says, adjustments to consider to one's liking. And what that stands out to me is that everybody's recipe today is not going to actually be the same, but it's going to be tailor-made just for us to follow. And sometimes we might need a little bit of this. You might want a little bit of parsley, a little bit more cilantro in your recipe, but I may want a little of something else. But in the end game, the outcome is something that we both individually enjoy, correct?
Right.
Correct. Okay. All right, Patrick, I'm going somewhere with it. Okay. So let's take a moment, everybody, and we're going to get started with this. Okay, here we go. I don't know if you all can see this. Let me see if I could get rid of this here. Okay, there's a scripture in 3 John 1 and 2 that encourages us. And sometimes we may not really see this as an encouraging scripture that talks about well-being and wellness. But this particular scripture is just really an encouraging and amazing scripture that we can consider today. It says, dear friend, I pray that you are prospering in every way and are in good health, just as your whole life is going well. And I forgot to put that version, the biblical version there, but that is a really great description of how we are to be encouraged about prospering in our life and having wellness and well-being. And so with that being said, thank you, Keisha. Yes, make it your own. Make your recipe your own. With that being said today, keep that scripture in your head as we go on to what we're going to be talking about today. So today's goal for Tea Time Tuesday is to create an individual recipe that will positively foster wellness and well-being. So with that being said, let's take inventory. Okay. Where are you right now? If you think about the month of August 2025, and we've been doing check-ins throughout the whole year. We've talked about stress awareness. We've talked about mental health awareness. Patrick, we've talked about well-being and a lot of other areas. We have talked about living through chaos. We've got some great nuggets on how to navigate through different things. We've even talked about brain health awareness month, mental health awareness. All of these things are really check-ins for us to see where we are. Where are we in the scheme of things individually on our work, in our careers, in our family, in our goals? Where are you? And so let's take inventory today. I want you to think about wellness and well-being, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But where are you right now in the month of August as you're starting off your month? Where is your wellness? Where is your well-being? We talk about that here at Tea Time Tuesday as we stop and pause, reset, and build resilience. So really think about where are you? Because in our Tea Times journals, we have a lot of Tea Time renewal practices. But where are you? Think about your state of being right now. So Patrick, I'm going to ask you, think about you. You don't have to really say how you are, but where are you? Do you feel like you're thriving? Do you feel like you're moving forward or progressing? Are there some areas that are out of balance that you might want to balance again? Think about that Tea Time community. Put what you might be thinking about that, or what's an aha moment that you're coming up with when you think about where are you right now in the month of August in 2025. We got several months to go in this year. So how are you doing so far, Patrick?
I'm thinking about how there's something that I need to finish, and so my mind is like, what do I need to do and how do I need to be in order for me to finish? So there's some decisions I'm going to need to make in order for me to move it into completion, because I had to leave something in order for me to finish. So that's kind of top of mind right now for me.
I like that. I put in the chat what Patrick said. I kind of recalibrated a little bit and said, finishing well. So you know, something that you always say, how you leave something is how you go into something, right? And so you want to finish well. That's a good, thank you for sharing that. And we're going to talk about that too. Where does that fit in your scheme of wellness of where you are? Thank you. Anybody else out there in our Tea Time community, where are you on your wellness and well-being scale right now? Where are you at? So while you're thinking of that, we're going to move on with our tea time, our time today with our renewal practice. And so with that being said, we're going to be building again this recipe, and we're going to talk about wellness and well-being. So what is wellness and what is well-being? There's a little difference between both of these words. Okay, here's well-being. Well-being is the actual state that you're in. Well-being is the state of living well, feeling great. And here's some adjectives, there's some words surrounding well-being. Some people say thriving, some people say burgeoning, advancing, prospering. Going back to that, you know, that scripture that we looked at earlier. This is a recipe for wellness. A recipe for well-being is that state that you're in, feeling great about where you are in life. Wellness, now we just talked about well-being. So what is wellness? Wellness is our habits. And I think Patrick mentioned that in the intro. Our habits, it's what we do every day that lead to a positive, healthy outcome. Because we all want to be moving in a place of wellness, not just saying wellness. Or what about all of the different areas of our lives? Maybe not just thriving financially or really doing well or feeling great physically, but there are so many other areas that we can foster well-being and wellness. We want to actually be in a positive state, and we want to develop habits. Patrick, you got something you want to share about that?
Oh, no, I'm just meditating on how we need to embody both. And it helps me start thinking about, okay, where am I? And then what am I doing? So it's more or less just where am I? Like we say, locate ourselves. But then also, what am I actually doing on a day-to-day basis? Because you can't fake that. We can talk it, but you can't fake it. What I do every day really is where my wellness is.
That's right. And, you know, I agree with that. And habits are formed over time. The more you do the same thing you do repeatedly, those are the things that build eventually. Either whether you're building up one area by repeatedly doing something, or you're building up something that may not be as good, you know, for us. And so I want to, thank you. Living in faith every day. You're holding steady. That's where you are in your wellness. You know, well-being and wellness are critical to us. And so sometimes we don't really consider that until we're high. We're doing, you know, high and doing great and soaring high, or we may not be doing very well. It just seems like those are the times we consider well-being and wellness. But what about just like what Living in Faith said it? I'm holding steady. How can you have a continuum of wellness and well-being? Because that's what we want to promote here, a continuing state of being well. And how are you building that? Sharon is coming in and she's saying continuous. Thank you, Sharon. We're on the same wavelength here today. Continuous navigation to find balance while trying to move forward in other areas. You know, that kind of wraps it up, because sometimes we think about we're doing great, we're feeling great, and our well-being, we're, you know, soaring. So we're really considering well-being. And then those times we're not, you know, soaring as high, we don't feel as great. Then we're thinking about, I need to do things to foster well-being. But what about this continuous navigation while we're trying to move forward in other areas? That's what we're talking about. Thank you, Sharon. I like that. And so today we're going to talk about that. And so while you're with me, let's take a moment and take inventory. Where are you? So write that down, because that's going to help you navigate and develop your recipe today. What are some things that you're lacking in? Think about your recipe. Think about the outcome of where you want to be. What do you want things to look like as a whole for yourself? So if you think about that whole picture of the recipe, you guys know there's like what do they call it? A protein bowl with all the different beautiful things in it, or spaghetti or some pasta, and they show you that picture. That picture is what you are looking to desire to have. You want it to taste good. You want it to look good. So, but you have to have the recipes and the mechanisms and the process of creating that to get there, right, Patrick?
That's right.
And so, with that being said, what is it, the big grand scheme of things you want to look? What do you want it to look like? What do you want you to look like right
Mm.
now in real time? August 12th, 2025. So have that in mind and take inventory of what do I not want anymore? What are some things I need to take away? What are some things I need to subtract? And what are some things I need to add? And so we're going to talk about that today. And this is so critical because it's critical, but it's easy because wellness can be obtained at any point. We can start again, we can build again. And so, with that encouraging word, let's go to our next slide here. There are so many different areas of wellness and well-being. If you went out there and you looked at the wellness wheel or so many different models, there's so many different things that talk about well-being and different areas that we can bloom in, we can blossom in, we can advance in, and we can progress in. Our environmental and physical space. We're going to talk about all of these physical areas of our lives. Patrick was talking about exercising and eating and all of these things. Spiritual, purpose, our vision. How about emotional and your occupation, your professional? Maybe people are transitioning. Maybe you're in a place of transitioning into a new role. Social, you move to a new place, or your family, your relationships. Recreational, what you do, your leisure. Intellectual, we'll talk about all these things, expanding what you know. Financial and social, these are all areas, and there's probably many other areas of wellness and well-being that we can grow in, but we're going to talk about these for the sake of developing our wellness recipe today. So let's take a look at this list, take it in. Where are some areas that you really want to bloom in? Some of these are jumping out at you. Is it vision? You need to dream again. Purpose? Who you've been designed to be? Do you need to learn some new things? Need to shift some things? Maybe your physical space you need to spruce it up some. We're going to talk about those things in just a minute here. Patrick, what are you thinking now concerning these different areas of wellness and well-being?
Yes, I am actually. I was looking at that and itemizing at the same time. Well, number one is recreational for me. I've been a doctoral student, and so I had to navigate not having a lot of recreational time. And as I'm getting back on board to fine tune, finishing up some things in that space, I'm thinking about re-engaging my recreational time. Things such as your hobbies, the things that you enjoy doing, and really being more active athletically. So those are the things that I wrote out first, and then the second thing I wrote was physical, and then financial. But I kind of linked recreational and social together, like who being recreational alone, and then being recreational with my friends as well. But also my financial well being is important because I'm entering a new season in that space as well. So that's like top of mind as well. So
I
just
like
thinking
that.
about. Mm-hmm.
And I like how you shared that some of these are combined. And if we went back to what makes a recipe, what really makes for a good recipe, and those are the things that when the different things enhance one another, when the different elements complement one another. So you may be looking at a financial, looking at the wellness areas of financial, but that overlaps into professional life or into your personal life. And all of these different things, I think, make a big deal and a big difference on how we navigate when we have a blueprint. And we're going to talk about that with the recipe card. What does it look like? So for Patrick, you might want to look at what do I want things to look like? So that's the end picture of what I want to see happen. And then you want to sharpen up these areas, balance these areas that you just talked about. And that's going to help you navigate and draw up a really nice recipe for wellness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I see you shaking your head.
Mm-hmm. No, just responding, just kind of
Okay. Okay.
thinking through it. No, you're good. Thank you.
Okay. Tea time
Yeah.
community. Go ahead, put in the chat what areas jump out, areas of wellness you believe that you're going to start extracting from off of this screen right here and then implementing so that you can progress in a certain area. If you want to share, go ahead and put it in there. There's several areas that I'm, going to sharpen up right now in August 2025. And when you look at some of these, we're going to break some of these down right now. Let's just say you want to start with your environmental. And you're like, well, what is that? Well, creating the physical space that's encouraging to you. Maybe it's time to do some shifting and restructuring some your office space, your home, whatever that looks like, to promote peace, to promote order. We've talked about cluttering. We've talked about decluttering here at Tea Time. We've talked about how do you rest. We've all talked about what do you do, different things that enable you to rest in your space. What about positive engagement? Maybe you might want to be in a place or go to a place that's promoting that. Get out of the place that's not promoting that and create a space that is a place where you can feel like you're engaging. This is like me. This is what I like. This is, this promotes positivity. Just having it. One of the things I like to share, if you look at the picture, and I'm all for this, we talk about this quite a bit on Tea Time, but I want to really share this as a tip for someone. Having natural lighting in your office space, if you can, or even in your home, a space where there's natural lighting or a place that you can go, your porch, your balcony, your backyard, your front yard, somewhere where there's natural lighting, it works wonders just for you, or getting out of the work routine, going into the lobby where there's natural lighting makes a big difference in how we navigate. Spiritual, spending time in worship or deepening your relationship with the Lord, taking the time for community, devotion, prayer, and study. Is this an area that really needs to progress? Is this an area of wellness that you really need? Now, all of these areas we definitely need to have a balance in, but what area do you really need to sharpen? And this is a great way to start looking at, where am I? And how do I want to create the image that I'd like to have for my recipe, my wellness recipe card? I'm going to go to the next screen. We're still back here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Purpose. And Patrick, jump in at any point in time. Purpose. Maybe, if you look at the picture, you're watering the things that you're sowing. You want to move intently in the uniqueness of who you are and you're designed to be. Okay, well, this is a new season for me, and there's some new things about me I would like to upgrade or change. And looking in and honing on your competencies and skills and having a growth mindset. Maybe you're at a place where you want to expand your mind, expand where you are. So look at your purpose. What have you been designed to do and to be? This is a great area to start looking at. Vision. What is your vision for yourself, for your business, for who you are? And having that desired outcome of what your vision really looks like. Because some of us may have dropped our vision. We may have dropped a portion of it. Are you aligned with it? And then developing strategies to get there. So that might be a little bit of goal setting for those of us that are out there. For the sake of time, I'm just going to keep cruising, Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's think about this. Social, recreation, intellectual, and financial. You mentioned a few. Find ways to expand and progress. Continue cultivating in these areas for the benefit of well-being. Well, like you said, recreational. Sometimes we might need to adjust our leisure. What are your hobbies? What are you doing? Your social connections. Intellectual. What are you learning? Unlearning. There's a lot of different things that we can do as far as well-being. Let's go back again. And Patrick, please jump in at any point in time. Let's go back.
Actually, I was thinking, I just put in the comments here, to have an action plan after you prioritize. Because as you're going through everything, one of the things that I've learned from you, even in a coaching context, when you're entering into a new phase of growth. And again, this is about growth. This is about expansion in any area because it covers all areas of well-being, which is our state. And then you said wellness, which are our daily habits. So
Right.
it would be good to say, okay, let me prioritize. They're all important. They're all happening,
Mhm.
but at
Mhm.
different seasons in our lives, they take different priority levels or
Right.
areas. And it's important to make sure, be practical. Like your recipe is going to be your action plan. Let's say, what do you
Love it.
actually need to do to make sure your recipe, you can eat it? You know what I mean?
I love
So,
it.
yeah, so it has me thinking about that.
Thank you for sharing that. I like how you said that because really, if you look again, what is a
Hmm.
good recipe? A recipe is the guide that you need to create the outcome. And a lot of us sometimes may not have that visual thing that we need in front of us. We may have the journals and all of that, but what do we really have that's going to hold us accountable to create the image that we want to have? And so that's what we're doing today. If you happen to have an index card, and you can go grab one later. On the right side of your card, I know I have a Bible verse over here that I usually have, and it's casting casting all your cares upon the Lord. It's just something that motivate me, but that's the emotional side for me to make sure
Hmm.
that worry, fear, anxiety, that those type of things I'm doing better in my well-being, that I'm focusing on and the spiritual things that God has for me. So that's part of my anchoring right over here. But over here, put the outcome of what you want it to look like. What do you want it to look like? What do you want to look like going forward? I want to be more confident and courageous. I want to be more intentional, well rounded, whatever that looks like. Take the time to write it on the right side of the page of what things look like. I want my vision to be sharper. What does the vision look like? I want to move better in my purpose. Well, what does that look like? Put all of the ingredients together because they'll complement each other and write a description on the right side of your page of what that's going to look like. And then now that you've got the outcome, it's just like what Patrick was saying, you kind of got an action plan here. Now, here on the left side, right, you can number it or you can bullet it, whatever you want to do. Go back and write your recipe. I'm going to need to do this, that, and this. Write it detailed and make it so that
Hmm.
you can maybe copy and put it on another card. Put it in a spot that you will see every day. So some of us like to put it in the journals or the books that we have on our coffee table, mirror, in the car, wherever it is that you know that you're going to see it and you can hold yourself accountable, because well-being begins with us. It begins with intentionality. And remember that well-being and wellness are two different things. We'll go back again and review this really quick. When you think about wellness and well-being, let me see if I can find that slide here so that we can look at the two of these. Remember, well-being is the state that you're living in, that you're feeling great. You want to foster well-being. I want to grow. I want to advance. I want to prosper. And as my soul prospers, remember that all of those things of
Yeah.
being good health, we want that. And we want to move in wellness. And how does that happen? Every day we're taking baby steps. We got a blueprint. We have some description in our recipe card that's going to give us healthy outcomes. Whether it is actually drinking those water, writing a pattern on when you need to refresh with water, when are you going to walk? Are you going to exercise? What's your sleeping time, your sleep hygiene? Am I going to make changes in my environmental physical space?
Hmm.
Add some things, subtract some things. So when we think about well-being, it goes beyond just us saying well-being.
Hmm.
We can come back to this and really take an opportunity to keep ourselves in check. Just a little handy, fun thing to do, but I think
Yes.
it's very practical. Patrick?
I began to think about also, like when I'm making gumbo or soup or something, um, I constantly think about, you have your ingredients, but then you actually think about the end game.
Right, there you go.
You might have your oil, you got your meats, you've got your, veggies, you've got your seasoning, right? And then there's something you need to do with each of the ingredients. And so what I'm gaining from this renewal practice is, what do I need to do with each ingredient? Do I cube it? Do
Mm-hmm.
I, how am I slicing it? Even that makes a difference, with the end game. So those
Love
are
that.
things, what do I need to alter? What do I need to do differently with the ingredients? So that's also causing us, maybe we need to pay attention to that in our lives. And generally, in a good cookbook or recipe book, they're always going to show you a good picture at the end of it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
here's how it should at least look, because you're going to plate it, right? There's a way that you're going to plate it when you're finished. So that's also important too. Is also presence. I mean, I remember watching cooking shows. They not only would rank you on the ingredients and how you're using the mystery ingredients, but also they would rank you on, how is your presentation?
Presentation.
So
That's
how
right.
are you implementing it and laying this out in your life? And so that's important. So thank you for sharing that.
I like that. Thank you. And Tea Time community, y'all have been very quiet today. Put it
Mm-hmm.
if I wonder if your wheels are spinning out there. Put something that's jumping out at you or a takeaway today that you can take with you. I mean, of course, we're using something tangible, but put in the chat something that you plan to utilize with this renewal practice today. We talk about well-being. We talk about wellness quite a bit. And I know you may think it's on repeat, but there's so many different elements that we can extract from this. Do something that is actually practical that you can do and take with you as you start doing an assessment of where am I in my wellness right now. This is the approach that we're taking today. Where am I? And what tangible thing can I take with me to keep me accountable on the areas that I want to look like? This is what I want to look like. This is what wellness looks like to me. I see some remarks coming in here. Okay. Oh, Patrick is saying, okay, how was your recipe? What are your main wellness ingredients? That's a good question. Y'all answer that if that jumps out at you. Yes. And Charlize is saying fine tuning my physical being to increase my physical wellness. Thank you for sharing that, Charlisa. Charlisa is making a step
Mm-hmm.
that she wanted to expand and become more well in her physical area of her life. That thank you for sharing that with all of us. That might ignite something in someone else to say, maybe I might need to shift and make a change physically.
Yeah.
And I see living in faith every day. You want to take hers?
Sure. I've started planning my day to include my rest, meals, and socializing in person.
Mhm.
It's made a world of a difference for me, not just the to-do list me,
Yeah.
but the whole me. Thank you for sharing. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Michelle, thank you for sharing that because one of the things I like about what you shared is the whole person. And I don't have a wellness wheel to show it, but we did do a lot of different. We went back to that chart that we had earlier, and there's
Mm-hmm.
so many different areas for creating the life that we desire to have in areas of wellness and well-being. And it begins with actually taking inventory of where we are and what we need to add or subtract or enhance, just like that recipe card. It made me a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that, but this is the outcome. This is what I want things to look like. And so, with that being said, then the goal today is to create your wellness recipe. I like that little man right there, that little figure,
Mm-hmm.
a little, little stir fry going on. But there's so many different elements, that we can put into play when it comes to creating just a little something practical, but really a wellness recipe begins with taking all of these elements that we just looked at and seeing what areas that we can expand, areas that we can, I would say, just thrive in. We want to move in these areas. We want to blossom in these areas. So wellness, that's what wellness is. It's that state of where we are, and well-being is that state of and the habits that we create. Patrick,
Mm-hmm.
you have some things you want to share?
No, I'm reflecting. I've got my notes. What I will share is that at our specialty time, the end of this month, I'm going to revisit this,
Okay.
uh, because I think it's important that we do a check in on,
Mm-hmm.
did we really build out our recipe?
Mm-hmm.
And so, folks, I want to encourage everyone, really put some action behind your ingredients. So
Yes.
that's where I am. So thank you for this today. It's very helpful, especially for those of you that are in transitions. You're in between. You're entering into a new season or leaving something. Those are important.
Thank you. I like what you just said, and I like how you're putting putting the emphasis back on accountability, because sometimes we write all these things down, but really are we implementing them, or what are we working? And so I like that, and that check-in, I thank you. Yeah, you're welcome to use this to check us back in. So we do want
Yeah.
to do better. We do want to become much better. Sharon is saying, currently creating a thought journal to help me stay connected and intentionally tap into where I am. That's all right. A thought journal. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Sharon. That's amazing. The things that we'll start developing so that we can be well. We
Yeah.
want to be well. Thank you for sharing that. And here's Nita. You want to take
My
Nita?
word for this season in my life is balance, leaving work at work so that I can focus on my home and well being, taking time to breathe and rest, and being okay with saying no so I don't overcommit.
Yes.
Excellent.
That anointed word. No. Balance. All of
Right.
these things. Boundaries.
Those
That's
are
what
good
that's
words.
about. The emotional aspect of where we are. Thank you for sharing it, because that matters. So we see what's important to each one of us as we're looking at in the chat to see what you're saying. And so thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. Dr. Brown. Hi, Dad. Okay.
Hey,
He
I've
said,
been enjoying the recipe challenge today. Thank you for being on that. Appreciate it.
yes,
Yes.
it is a recipe challenge. It may have a nice little, what do we call it? Not allegory, but I forgot what we call it. But we use that as an example, something engaging, as
Yeah.
simple as a card, to kind of do something a little different, that to cause us to want to change, to
Yeah.
advocate for our own well-being and our wellness. And we're advocating for all of us here at the Renewal Center, because our hashtag is take care of each other.
That's
And
right.
so that's where we are with this. Patrick, is there some things you would like to share as we close out?
Sure. Just, again, I just want to encourage everybody to take action. I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to revisiting this the end of this month.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yep.
Now, if you all are enjoying these times that we are sharing the content here at the Renewal Center, Patrick is going to take us in a time of our announcements and how you can partner with the Renewal Center and how you can share this. They can see a lot of the life-changing things that are going on here at the Renewal Center.
Absolutely. Thank you, Carmela, for our renewal practice for today. Everyone, want to encourage you. First of all, if you have been, benefited from our content, this engagement, I'd like you to consider partnering with the Renewal Center. Here are the ways that you can donate to the Renewal Center and give to the Renewal Center through our website. Also, you can text to give. That's a secure link will be sent to your phone as you text to give. We also have PayPal and Zelle, which is our email address, the Renewal Center 2020 at gmail.com. Also, our Cash App is Cash Renewal Center. And then our Venmo is at Renewal Center as well. You can also mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 1381, Concord, North Carolina, 28026. So I'm going to give you a moment to consider us. I want to thank you for your support and thank you for your partnership as you're helping us achieve our mission and our vision. So thank you for that. Also, want to invite you to tomorrow is our last renewal summer prayer for the summer. We had June 11th, July 9th, and tomorrow evening at 7:30 as we
Yes.
close out our summer prayer series. That's the Zoom ID right there and the password tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to seeing you there. Also, this coming Friday, we've been having every morning on Friday mornings at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the same Zoom link or Zoom ID and password as well. You don't have to come on camera, just come in and really meditate with us, pray with us as we seek the Lord together in prayer. Also, want to invite you each and every Sunday to our new digital discipleship with us here at the Renewal Center. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. Please download our mobile app, go to our website or our social media pages so you can access the link to connect with us each and every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to having you part of our fellowship. Also, we have our All Roads Lead to Grief Recovery. We do have grief recovery specialists that are here to help you navigate grief of any kind, whether it's personal loss, whatever transition you're experiencing in this current season. Please email us and let us know how we can help you. We look forward to walking with you in your grief recovery. All right. Also, want to announce, ladies, again, for the Women at the Well Bible Study series, please, first of all, invite another lady to attend September 6th. So invite someone, go ahead and put it on your calendar, save the date right now. The Women at the Well Bible Study series, Zoom opens up at 10 a.m. for fellowship, and they begin 10:30. So again, it is about finding purpose, excellence, grace, and liberty in God's presence. So I want to challenge you, as part of your well-being, is invite someone. Let them know this is what I'm doing. I'd like to invite you to be a part of what we're doing. So again, those are all of our announcements here at the Renewal Center. We look forward to seeing you at our prayers, or also being a part of all of our programs that we're offering for you. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much, Patrick. And we want to thank everyone once again for tuning in with us. And in order to keep your honor, the time that we have is 1:02. So we want to make sure that we get off at a good time. Definitely want to invite you to come back and share Tea Time Tuesday with us next Tuesday at 12 noon. And so until then, have a wonderful Tuesday afternoon, and we will see you. Remember to take care of each other. And as we have been saying, practice well-being and wellness.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely do that. And we'll see you later. Have a great afternoon.